The camera's that little green dot.
Right there. That one.
Okay, we'll do our thumbnail.
What's our thumbnail?
I don't know. Hi, beautiful beings. My name is Brittany.
And I'm Bridgette.
And today we're going to be talking about how I got stronger.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
Look at them guns.
And I brought in the big guns to help me tell my story for two reasons. One, because you've been here for my transformation.
Yeah.
Two, because you've been a big part of it. And three, because it just sounds more fun.
Yeah. It's always more fun to do videos together.
Yeah, totally.
It's been such a reflection, right? Like we've both gained so much strength and knowledge over the last 5 years moving together and amidst other things, practicing life together.
Yes. And we become more like the people we're around. Bridgette and I have both gained, so much from one another. And one of the big pieces I have gained from you is finding more physical strength within myself, just by proxy, like being around you.
So, Brittany, what do you think is kind of the main, a couple of the main reasons for that?
Yes, this is a great question. I think the main reasons revolve around nourishment, the specific types of movement I'm doing now and what I'm focused on, rest, and like a deeper like nervous system rest and a reorientation to my body and like body image, intuitive eating, like a more loving connection with my body. And then the mystery, like the mystery of the unknown, and also like it just being aligned timing for me. And on some level, me really choosing strength at this time and choosing to like want to be stronger, want to be heavier, want to take up more like physical space and power in the world.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've loved witnessing you in that journey, just like all these different facets and like the interconnectedness of them all. And I think when you were sharing, the word that was coming to mind and what I've seen in myself and so many others is like having the reserves to be able to build strength, because I think so many people, and myself included, used to be trying to build strength from a place of depletion.
Totally. Yeah. And so this is actually why, I'll mention this now, why we created a program to help people with like the fullness of how to live a thriving life. Like it's called Living Embodied, because when we're trying to pursue something in a segmented way, like, oh, I just want to be physically stronger, or I just want to be leaner. Oh, I just want to like shift my diet, or I just want to like become a more spiritual being. We inevitably miss out, because it's really about like the balance of all of these things and how we are embodying them holistically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if that's something you're interested in, check out the box below. We have a link to it. We have a free sample. So that's what I recommend. Go on, check out what the program's all about, or you can set up a call with us to learn more about it. Yeah. So let's start with nourishment first.
Yeah. Because I think that's a huge piece, is like having the tools, the building blocks to be able to build muscle, right? Because when all of our resources are going to keeping our nervous system relaxed, right? Like the adrenal glands are a huge component in how we're able to put on muscle, because if we're constantly in a trying to refuel that reservoir, then that's where all the energy is going. And
yeah. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that I ate a plant-based diet for 7 years. That's when I started the YouTube channel. I was eating a plant-based diet, and for a lot of that time I ate a fruit-based diet. So my fuel was coming mostly from fruit and leafy greens, And then towards the end of that journey, the last couple of years, I really focused on how can I incorporate more protein. So I was eating like plant-based proteins, and I saw a shift to some degree, but it was still always hard for me to like gain muscle and strength. And I noticed in the movements I did, like, it's fascinating because I used to do so much more movement then. And I also, and a lot of it was more muscular endurance. So there's that, whereas I do more like strength-based movements now for sure. But also it was hard for me to gain strength. Like, I trained pull-ups so much, and like what I got out of them compared to like training them less now, and what I get out of them is huge. And just like, yeah, the sheer number of hours, time spent in movement compared to now is so vastly different. And I think, yeah, my diet just didn't support putting on muscle in the way that my diet does now.
Yeah.
So I eat more food now. I eat more protein. I eat more fat, and I eat meat now. And I eat like a really pretty simple diet that is a lot more like animal-based than plant-based.
And one point is you said you eat more food. But I also imagine sometimes it's less volume of food that's filling your belly.
Yeah.
Right? So this is the thing with like high carbohydrate or plant-based diets is you have to eat a lot of calories, or to get enough calories, to get enough nutrients, you have to eat a lot of food, right? And that can fill the belly, can irritate the gut. It's, if we're just eating carbohydrates, we're running off of mostly sugar. So then we're also, this is a huge component, I think, for you, constantly thinking about food.
Right.
Where food is kind of like, just running in the background all the time.
And what's interesting is you told me that so many times, like, you're probably not eating enough, and like,
if you're thinking about food, you're not eating enough. And
I didn't like really understand or believe you. I felt like, no, like I just have like this connection with food, and I'm eating emotionally, and it's like I couldn't understand that my emotional eating was like mostly physiological.
Yeah.
I really thought it was psychological.
How often do you think about food now?
I don't. Like, I love food. I love to eat, but like...
Yeah, you got a lot of space.
My relationship with food is so different, and it took time. It took time to make that transition. When Ilya was 2 months old, I started incorporating eggs and fish, and then chicken, and then beef and meat, and now I eat, and even like now organs sometimes, etc. So, and then bringing in like healthy fats as well, like animal-based fats. And I like to have 3 meals now, like 3 balanced meals, protein, fat, and carbohydrates.
And you feel satiated.
And I feel really satiated.
Those meals.
Like, I have sustained energy after my meal time, like for a long time. If I miss a middle of the day meal, I feel okay. And I remember I was telling Bridgette, like, when we used to like take a hike down the Greenbelt, we'd be gone a couple hours. I'd be like, I gotta go, like, gotta get my Camelback with like my Lara bar and some fruit and like some other stuff, because like I was constantly needing to fuel my body because carbohydrates just don't. I actually did this demonstration with Ilya the other day with the carbs. I'm like, this is what a snack does. Like, a carbohydrate snack gives you like this short, quick burst. But this is what a meal does with protein, fat, and carbohydrates. So you can just keep going.
Yeah.
So the way that's converted to the building blocks I have to put on more muscle.
And getting like essential fatty acids and amino acids that you weren't getting, and or having to supplement constantly.
Totally.
So, which those are just built into the foods that you're eating now, and it's so much more bioavailable. There's less to digest, less stress on the adrenals. Also because carbohydrates, right? If we're constantly eating carbohydrates, we're constantly elevating blood sugar, and then we've got this like roller coaster happening all day that takes a lot of energy.
Yes.
So there's not much left to just feel nourished and vibrant and strong and competent and grounded, and there's so many benefits of all the things we've shifted.
And I mean, something I emphasize so much in this space on this channel is like taking what you're hearing and applying it to you in your life, and however makes sense for you now, and whatever you're needing to incorporate and hear. And like, these seem to be things that have been really heavily correlated for me. And so I don't know, like I said, it's the mystery of it all too. Like, how do we ever know what has helped me gain more muscle and strength?
Yeah, and there's a topic also that I think is really important, which is sleep.
Right, okay, so
we were talking about this the other day because Brittany used to run off love energy. So I like would stay up.
Are you laughing at me about this? Like,
No,
I
it's
really
good.
did
Yeah, you do.
energy.
Brittany has a lot of love energy. It's very true. And also, you did a lot and you didn't sleep that much.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yes, I rest a lot more now.
And I think you sleep deeper is the
I
point
sleep
I'm
deeper,
trying to make.
I rest
Remember
more.
when you used to wake up in the middle of the night to eat?
It's true, I was hungry at night.
In the middle of the night, just be in the kitchen eating.
Oh man, I ate all the
we
time
could
at
forget
night.
about
That's
some of
right.
these
Like
things.
good thing you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was a handful of
hungry.
days that I didn't eat at night, and it was like a celebration. Now, like I never think about eating at night. That
No,
sounds
you're
like
just
not
sleeping.
good for my digestion.
Sleeping through the night.
Yes.
It's a big marker of vibrant health. Like the body can restore itself. You have plenty of energy to do all the processes.
Good job, me.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. So sleep, and the other piece of that is like a more relaxed nervous system and all around holistic view of health. For so long, I had this vision of like being leaner and stronger, but I wanted to be like leaner and smaller. And I was so focused on body image that it was hard for me to justify like not doing movement, or hard for me to justify like eating more food, because in my brain at the time it equated to like that's taking me further from my goal of being leaner.
Yeah.
And now I probably weigh 15 pounds more than before I got pregnant, and I love it. Like I don't think about, I just assume my body is right where it needs to be, like for whatever's going on.
And I'd say you're like the strongest and leanest. You
I'm
look
definitely the strongest I've ever been.
healthy
Yeah.
and vibrant. And I imagine when you look back at pictures of yourself, you're like, oh.
Yeah, that's something I've been reflecting on. Is like if I look at my vision boards over like 15 years, the people on them go from being like these like skinnier like model type chicks to like yogis and acrobats to like stronger and stronger, and it's been the same thing I see in the world. Whereas it used to be like I'd see someone like a female probably with a lot of muscle and feel like, wow, she looks good, but like I couldn't embody that, to now where like I see that and I'm like, fuck yeah, like I can embody that. I like that. I feel in my power imagining like just continuing to gain muscle and strength in my body.
I think a lot of people can probably relate, because I think growing up in the times that we did, fitness industry, diet culture, fitness models, all these things was promoting this lean being, but that's
It's not health.
that's not health, right?
Well, I mean, you went down that route. You got
Right,
to be
yes.
I
I was a very lean
bodybuilder.
yes, very in that world for a long time, and got to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff and the way I felt. I was actually really sick for a long time because I was so lean and so depleted. So yeah.
And not feeling strong.
Oh, no, not at all. Yeah, I had muscles. Like I would say I looked strong, but when I look back at those pictures and feel into that time and just like had insomnia, constantly thinking about food, feeling irritated, just like hangry, irritated.
Hormones
like
were off.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a cycle. I didn't want to have sex. I was just like, depleted and empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is such contrast to now just feeling so like I can sleep so deep. I have so much energy for life and the full life that we live, and I feel so strong and my movement's well rounded, and I just feel so grounded and relaxed in my system, and like wow, just like looking back on those times and how much I mean, the irritation thing is like really interesting to think about. Just, like,
yeah, for
being
sure.
on edge, like kind of constantly, or not feeling like I would have the reserves to go out into the world and do anything without taking food, or feeling
Constantly
like
thinking about
I would need a nap, or am I gonna get through the day, or
Yeah, I think that there's really a powerful paradigm shift here of like what health actually looks and feels like. And for me, I think gaining muscle and strength has been just like a byproduct of full body health. And it's been cool to just see that happen. And it took some time to gain momentum. Like I felt like I was doing a lot of these things for a couple of years, but then they started to become more refined. In each of these areas, I dialed in more. And then over time, I just started, like I was able to do more things. And I think that's something I love. Form follows function. And if you focus on the functions that you want to be experiencing. So for me, like changing up the specific moves I was doing a lot more gymnastics rings, doing more climbing, mountain biking, lifting more Olympic lifts and just like strength-based moves, then it's natural that like the form of your body is going to follow the functions that it's learning to perform.
And really also having a well-balanced, well-rounded realm of movement, also doing mobility and locomotion and dance and right, so not going so far to one edge where you're just like weightlifting and building muscle and building strength, but you're also maintaining this suppleness. I think is also a huge part of our Living Embodied program, which is this well-rounded like learning the language of our bodies and movement and how they function and what they need to cultivate these rituals and habits and practices, whether it's in your movement or your nourishment or your mindfulness practices, just feeling grounded and relaxed in your body and your thoughts and your beliefs and and like loving yourself.
I think it all stems from there, truly. And like yesterday we went to Barton Springs, this like beautiful outdoor place, and we danced in the rain and did movement and we swam and we like started our day slowly, and I felt so relaxed and so excited by that decision because it just felt aligned, and it was such a contrast to how I would have felt in the past. Like, no, but I need to get in my movement today, and I need to like, it's just to feel so available to flow with the rhythms of life and nature and my body.
Where we're at in our cycle or just how we're feeling, just like being really attuned to what our bodies are needing at these different stages. And
the inevitable byproduct of that has been strength. And so people ask us all the time, or like ask me on my Instagram story, are you like moving all day long? Are you like it's like, no, I'm just like, when we live like this well-rounded life, there's actually you don't have to have like this struggle for it.
It feels so good to be here.
Okay, thank you so much.